Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. Let's jump straight in and see what there is to talk about today. Let's start with this one. Robert Garcia responds to Anthony Joshua. There are trainers that are yes men. I'm not one of them. I think it's fair to say it wasn't all smiles and high fives in training camp between those two. Look, I'm a big Robert Garcia fan. I've spoken to him a few times. Great guy. And I, for one, wanted AJ to stay with him. Not because I don't think Derek James is a good trainer, although, I mean, you could argue the merits of both in terms of who is the better trainer. I know Derek James has Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence, but let's not forget, I mean, Robert Garcia has arguably the fighter of the year last year in Bam Rodriguez. I mean, he's got a good stable of fighters as well. So it isn't about who's the better trainer, because they're both very high level, very elite level trainers. I just wanted the consistency with AJ and a trainer. I mean, let's not forget, this is AJ's third fight with another trainer. And I wanted him to stay consistent with Robert Garcia. I mean, even if you go back and watch the Usyk performance, that Usyk performance, the second one, was a good performance. It was. And that was Robert Garcia having to get AJ mentally prepared, coming off a defeat to arguably the pound for pound number one and a southpaw. That's what that was the task in front of Robert Garcia. You've got to get AJ's belts back against that guy, Oleksandr Usyk, southpaw, and you've got 6 months to do it. That's what he had to do. That wasn't easy, but I mean, you could say that was a good AJ. At the times, we saw him boxing and looking good, having a boxing match with Usyk, but when he needed to kind of put his foot on the pedal a little bit, when he got aggressive in rounds 8 and 9, we saw a bit more aggression from AJ. I don't think we saw that against Jermaine Franklin. So, look, I'm not trying to say that Robert Garcia is better than Derek James. That's not my argument here. I just feel like with what we saw from AJ against Usyk, it would have been nice to have seen that partnership continue for another fight, another training camp. And I think that we would have seen, a much more aggressive AJ against Jermaine Franklin if he had stayed with Robert Garcia. That's just what I think. Again, this is no slight on Derek James, arguably the trainer out there right now who's number one. But I just think that that continuation with a trainer is very, very important. Look, we're probably going to see a better AJ next time round because he would have had another training camp with Derek James. But again, for me, I would have liked to have seen him stick with Robert Garcia. But look, if you don't get on in training camp, then it isn't going to work. And they clearly didn't get on. Team Zhang calls out Usyk and Fury. Is there a heavyweight who's got a better resume in the past 12 months? No, is the answer. Not in the past 12 months anyway. I know a lot of you will probably be saying Usyk, but Usyk's only fought once in the last 12 months. You know, Usyk's 36 now, I believe. It's just not active. I love Usyk. For me, he's the pound for pound number one. He's such a phenomenal fighter. But this is a guy that fought 3 times in 2018 when he was doing that World Boxing Super Series. Once in 2019, once in 2020, once in 2021, once in 2022. That's Oleksandr Usyk right now. It's just not enough, is it? It's not enough. So Zhang's right, man. Zhang has had the best 12 months. Again, Hrgović, you know, I'm going to say he beat Hrgović. I know the record books say he didn't, but he did. And now Joyce. That's it. No one's touching that. Nobody. So he is correct. He's had a great 12 months, and let's see who he gets next. Let's see if anyone will dare go China and fight him. He's tricky, man. He's a southpaw. He's 20 stone. He's clearly got the power. I mean, you don't hurt Joyce the way he hurt Joyce if you haven't got power. I mean, the way Joyce stumbled in that second round, and we've seen guys hit Joyce and he doesn't move. So the power was clearly there as well. Let's stick with Joyce. There's a lot of talk about what next for Joyce, and will it be a rematch? Will he fight Dillian Whyte, who was ringside and I think called him out? I think Dillian Whyte wanted the fight if he won. I'm not quite sure if Dillian Whyte wants it now that he's lost. Still a big fight, right? I mean, look, Joyce is in a position where there's still a lot left. I mean, he's 37, but again, Zhang's nearly 40. You can go on and on and on as a heavyweight. It's not like you're cutting weight, which seems to kill the lower fighters. You you can keep on going unless you've taken a lot of punishment. I mean, you could argue and say Joe Joyce has taken quite a bit of punishment. But look, he's with a big promoter. He's now a good ticket seller. He done well against Joseph Parker in terms of bums on seats. I think the copper box was sold out as well. So he'll get the fights. My worry for Joe Joyce is that he might now have missed out on fighting one of the big four. And that's what he wanted. It was on the cusp. It was right there. Like, if he were to have beat Zhang as everyone predicted, then I think the swell of just fan noise would have dictated that he got Fury or Usyk next. He wouldn't have fought AJ, and I don't think he would have fought Wilder, but he would have got Fury or Usyk next. He would have done that. Now, though, I'm not quite sure. I feel like his career might be one where he kind of picks off the guys in and around sort of the top 15, maybe just even up to top 5, top 6, but I don't think he's going to get the opportunity against one of the former world champions or current world champions. I just don't see it happening. Like, he could fight Ruiz, he could fight Frank Sanchez. He's the kind of guy that would love to fight a Jared Anderson, probably will fight a Dillian White. He might even have the rematch with Zhilei Zhang. But in terms of a Fury, a Usyk, a Wilder, or AJ, I just don't see it now. I really don't. And that's a shame. Look, could be wrong. Could be wrong. He could roll the dice next against Zhilei Zhang, knock him out in China, and then who knows, right? It's a case of, okay, you're back. But the thing with Joe Joyce was no one really wanted to fight him because the juggernaut, right? Very risky fight. The risk reward is bad. The risk is high. The reward is quite low. So now, why are you going to fight him? You're not going to do it, are you? I mean, before, again, the public were demanding that he fight a Fury or AJ get in the ring with him. There isn't that demand now. So now he has to kind of grow that demand again. And that's going to take time. It's going to take time. He's not going to fight again for another, I'll say, 5 or 6 months. He's talked about he'll have an interim fight in between rather than go straight for Zhang. So that takes you up, say, let's just say September. And then it's next year. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, then you're 38. Man. So look, I think they will try and get the Dillian White fight done. Is there a lot of money in that fight? Yeah, decent amount, but it's not a big fight, is it? It's not, is it? I mean, is it? Does that do an AO arena? Does that do an O2 arena? Or do you have to go smaller and be more realistic? Copper box? I'm not quite sure. But look, he has loads of options. The options just won't be in terms of what next anyway. Obviously, it's not going to be one of the big four. And it won't even be one of the big four after what next. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's more likely to be someone, I was going to say Otto Volume, but I don't know if they want that southpaw work again. So, you know what I would like for him to not take that much of a step back. Joe Joyce is a good fighter. He just came up against someone that unfortunately might be his kryptonite. I'd love them to try an Andy Ruiz, but again, I don't know if Andy Ruiz would want it. Like, no one really wants to fight Joe Joyce unless the money is so big you think, fuck it. And that's the problem. He's a good ticket seller, but he's not a pay-per-view fighter. So you're not going to get paid well to fight him. So it's difficult to get someone over to fight him. It's very, very difficult. So I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see what Frank can come up with. S-Jam Promotions or his management team, what they can do. But it's not going to be easy to find him an opponent. It's not. I would like to see him come in a bit heavier as well next time. Look, I think because it isn't, this is what I think is going to happen. Because it isn't going to be easy to find an opponent, I think they might just go for the rematch. I think they'll put the figures on the table as they do, that this is what we can make. This is what you do, this, you win. It takes you that way. You do this. You know, every option will be looked at. And I think because of their difficulties in matching him, I think they might just go, you know, fuck it. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And I mean, there's been a lot of talk about going to China. I mean, Zhang will travel. Zhang clearly will travel. And I think now it's even a bigger fight than it was first time around. So I think now it could do the AO arena. It could potentially do the O2 arena with a decent undercard as well. So I think we are likely to see Zhang versus Joyce 2, as opposed to Zhang wanting a world title fight or Joyce maybe taking a backward step. It'd be a good fight again. The rematch will be good. I mean, as I said in in the video I did, yesterday, forgetting what day it is. As I said in that video, I thought Zhang was getting tired round 5, 6, I mean, the eye was just the eye. Hopefully, they can bring in some southpaw sparring so they can work on that and, just a bit of movement. But Zhang was getting a bit tired and Joyce was starting to kind of find his second wind. So who knows? Look, even here, Zhilei Zhang, I respect Joyce more after the fight. If he wants a rematch, I'm here. There you go. Tyson Fury, summer title defense at Wembley, still in play, says Frank Warren. I have no idea what's going on with this heavyweight division. I hate that I don't know. I have no idea. It was AJ that's kind of just threw me off here with that. I'll be back in December and no explanation as to what that is. I don't know if anyone's even asked Eddie. Has anyone asked Eddie? I'm not quite sure. Like, why December? I need a Coogan interview or a Charlie Parsons or anyone. Someone ask Eddie why December, because that's thrown me off a lot. Tyson Fury in the summer, I doubt it. Who now? I mean, the summer would have been, it would have been Joyce. That would have been it. Who? I mean, I would accept Ruiz. That's the one I would accept. Would I accept Hrgovic? Yeah, I'd accept that as well. There are options out there. I think Ruiz is a really good one. I like that matchup. Former world champion, beat AJ. There's a good story there. I mean, Ruiz is coming off a good fight against Luis Ortiz. So I don't mind that. Oh, here we go now. This is all over the place, isn't it? Anthony Joshua could return sooner than December, says Barry Hearn. You know what? Moving on. I'm moving on. I don't know. Here we go. What's this? Taylor on Catril. He's in a worse position now. Where's the Prograis fight? Yeah, he's not fighting Prograis. Obviously, he's fighting on the undercard of... What's he fighting on the undercard of? Wood Lara 2 or Lara Wood 2, however you want to phrase it. I thought they might go straight. You know, the problem is he's not fought. They've both not fought. That's could be a problem for both of them. They're both not fought for over a year. So, it's difficult. If you're Catril, do you want to go straight in with a Regis Prograis if you've not fought for a year? Don't know if you do. I'm not quite sure if you do. New promotional company. Maybe you just have this one. Who's he fighting? Let's see. I think. Am I right in thinking he's fighting the guy that beat Robbie Davis Jr.? Let's have a look. I always do this and my bloody box rec then won't work. Dara Foley. He is. Okay. Dara Foley. Yeah. He's fighting the guy that beat Robbie Davis Jr. There was an injury, but look, he knocked down Robbie Davis. So, okay, that's not that bad. I don't mind that. As a matchup. And then we'll see. We'll see what he does there. Eddie Hearn, if Canelo doesn't beat Ryder convincingly, you have to start looking at potential regression. Yeah. Well, what does he mean? Knock him out? Well, I don't know what he means. Ryder ain't no bum. He's tough, strong at the weight. But this is Canelo in his hometown, home city, the hood. It'll be tough for Ryder, boy. Very tough for Ryder. I'm more interested, and this is not looking past John at all. I'm really intrigued as to what next. That September fight, if it's going to be Bivol. I'm really, really intrigued as to what Bivol's doing. There's been so much talk about Munguia. There was talk about Munguia jumping up a couple of weight classes to fight him. Like, what's going on with Bivol? What are we doing? Like, again, I've said this. Why is no one screaming? Am I the only one that's screaming for Bivol Beterbiev? Why no one seems to be talking about it? There's been talk about Callum Smith Bivol Beterbiev now. What are we doing? What are we waiting for? I don't understand. I love Bivol, man. Love him. I've seen I put that video up of how did you guys see the video? I put the video up on my shorts, YouTube shorts, of how I got the jacket. So you guys will probably remember, but so basically, I was interviewing him. You guys have seen all this, but just for those of you that don't know a lot of you will be looking and thinking, how the fuck's he got that jacket? So I was interviewing Bivol. This is the Canelo fight. And I was like, look, 99% of the fans are going to be against you. And he was like, yeah, but you'll be with me. And I was like, yeah, I will be. I'm Team Bivol. And I said to his trainer who had a Bivol jacket, I said, can I get your jacket? I'm Team Bivol. So then his trainer whispered to me something along the lines of, do you want a jacket? And I was like, no, it's cool. Because obviously I'm there working. I can't be Team Bivol like that when I'm going to bloody interview Canelo. a bit later. But after the fight, I thought, wait a minute, I want that jacket. I want that jacket, man. I'm Team Bivol. So he came out of the press conference. This is post-fight press conference. And I saw him and he kind of said hello to me. And I was like, man, I like that jacket. And he's like, you want the jacket? Give me it. And he gave it to me. Team Bivol, man. Team Bivol. Team Bivol. All right, guys, girls, we're done. Peace and love.